Hey, welcome. My name is Tony. I'm with Akamai. We're here at RSA 2026. Last year, we did a predictions panel, kind of covering the things that we thought we might hear about during the conference. Today, we're doing the same thing. With me, I've got Atusa and Sean from Akamai, and we're just going to get right into it. Sean, what do you think are some things that security teams are doing right now that they're getting wrong?
Well, geez, why not just start off with an in-your-face question?
Yeah.
So what I think that security teams maybe could do a much better job of is working with the human resources department and/or with executive leadership to really understand the long-term impact and the organizational changes that are going to be required to successfully adopt and deploy AI in their environments.
Atusa, same question to you. What do you think are some things that security teams are absolutely getting wrong right now?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think that there's still a lot of concentration on human profile and endpoints where the threat matrix is really moving towards agentic workflow and non-human and identity.
Interesting. Okay, so and that obviously that plays in massively with AI because everything that's happened is maybe driven by someone, but it's all created agentically, right?
Exactly right. Yeah.
Interesting.
A lot of concentration on human profile and endpoints.
Well, what do you think are some things that are kind of being overhyped right now versus maybe things we should be focusing on?
So what I would say in regards to overhyped is there's this unbelievable excitement and this potential with AI that our development and our engineering and sales and even marketing, every aspect of the business seems that they can reach out and touch this new in development. And with AI and the tooling, people can start to see amazing things happening. So I believe that there's amazing opportunity. And I think that that's where this great energy and excitement comes in because people who maybe weren't creators, they could imagine an idea or a concept. Now they can actually build it and they can feel what it seems like to build something and then to watch it get deployed in environments or in meetings. So I think that's really, really cool. I think what's really concerning and the risk of that is we don't know what we don't know yet. And although we're deploying all of this very, very intelligent software, it has capabilities to APIs, it has capabilities to visibility around your environment that you don't even know where it's going at times. And as a security practitioner, that's really the aha moment. This could end up being, in some situations, if and when that actual code gets poisoned, that could be a really, really cataclysmic event because of where it sits not only in the primary organization, but throughout the entire supply chain.
Maybe I'll ask you this question as well. What do you think is really overhyped right now versus what we should really be focusing on?
Yeah, so that's really what I think is very overhyped is people are concentrating a lot on the integrity of the data or hallucinations done by these LLMs, where the real risk and the true security risk is what we've been talking about, which is agents having identities of their own and being able to chain across different data sets and APIs and doing this at extreme speeds, but not having the governance that Sean just mentioned. That's the real security threat in my mind.
What do you think are some areas that people aren't talking about yet that might be risky, might maybe catch us off guard in a few months?
The two things that would point right back to your question, Tony, would be the first one would be, yes, we've talked about the democratization of IT, the democratization of security, but with the concept and the visibility and the capability of the actual software capability with AI and AI toolings and LLMs and SLMs, I think that what we've done is we've democratized the bad actors. And we have folks that are now going to be able to get to command and control. We started to see even with Kim Wolf, some of the capabilities with some of these actual botnets and the devastating impacts that they can have. So I think that that's something that we really, really need to pay attention to. And then the second piece would be, because you've also mentioned this, going back to this earlier comment about how do you set up an organization, you think about today, you onboard an engineer, And that engineer may have a 4-month, 3-month, 2-month period within your environment to prove themselves out before they get to touch code. I believe that we'll be writing subscriptions for software engineers on an annualized basis. Just think for a second, how do you onboard a virtual engineer that's going to be in your environment? So that would be one. And then the second thing, I think identity is going to continue to be huge in our ability to have visibility, observability, and actionability in our world moving forward. Because what is an identity? Is it the agent? Is it the code?
Yeah.
Is it the token?
Yeah.
Is it the service? And how do I understand how all of these components come together so that I can guarantee that security is still allowing the business to move at the speed it needs to, while still being safe and protecting it?
Achusa, what do you think is happening in the industry right now that people aren't focusing enough on yet?
Right. I mean, to continue the same theme, what I would say is when you have an agentic workflow that has access to APIs and service accounts, now you have a workflow that can go laterally across the whole enterprise. And if you don't have the right control plane, now you're really exposed, because somebody can, just like what Sean mentioned, an individual, if they're nefarious, they can sit down and write what exactly they want done. And then these agents can go across your platform and wreak havoc if you don't have the right security measures implemented.
Yeah, so the foundational governance of how things are working is going to be even more important.
Really having a control plane over the identity and knowing what agent is supposed to do what, and then if they go outside of that framework, how do you control that? How do you secure your environment?
Yeah, excellent, thank you.
Sure.
Achusa, what do you think we're going to be hearing about at RSA this year? Obviously, the buzz in the air is all about AI, but what do you think we might be seeing?
So I'm hoping that we'll see a lot of continuous threat exposure management, definitely API governance, visibility into APIs that are doing agentic work, identity management for the agentic workflows, and of course API security as a whole.
Excellent. What do you think, and this may be a softball, what do you think we're going to be talking about at RSA this year predominantly? Sounds like AI probably will be on the top of the chart.
You think?
Maybe, yeah.
I think what you'll see a shift from last year, where it was really all about yesterday's news, which is really the MCP, and now it's really all going to be around the agent-to-agent capability and how AI has really advanced itself, even in a short window of time, to make a greater impact. I think that what you'll see in the actual show will be more governance around AI and automating AI to keep an eye on AI. In essence, we'll see a lot more red teaming governance around what is it that you deployed and how is it interacting in your environment, so we don't end up with that cataclysmic conversation we talked about earlier, where you got a command and control server and you've got, in essence, software that turned into some delicious malware that could really wreak havoc.
All right, that's it for our 2026 RSA predictions panel here at Akamai. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.